Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a good day. So in this video, as you would have seen by the title of course, I'm going to be talking about 3 things that I really like about Chapter 6 so far, and 3 things that I really dislike. So it goes without saying, this is all just my opinion, so if you disagree, that's completely okay. Let me know in the comments the 3 things you really like, and 3 things that you really don't like. You know, if I upset you in any way, I'm sorry, these are just my opinions. And I didn't want to say things I love and hate because I don't really hate anything. Overall, I did make a little review on this chapter so far. And if you've seen it, you know I actually like this chapter quite a bit. But I thought it would be interesting to look over some things that maybe just aren't that great. But also, to be fair, to discuss things that I think are actually pretty good. So, let's get into it with my first thing that I dislike. My first dislike is that, and this might seem a little nitpicky, but there's no real big POIs in this yet. And for those who don't know what that means, that's point of interests. So to me, this season doesn't really have any Tilted Towers like places, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to remake Tilted Towers or anything like that, but I'm saying that that was a place where it's very known that everyone lands there, and that's where, you know, a lot of stuff goes down. And to me, there just isn't really a place that stands out yet in this season 1 that we have so far. That could change as the chapter goes on, but so far to me, like, I think the map looks nice, and you'll see that later on in this video, and I like the little areas, but none of them have just stuck with me like one has for, you know, every other chapter or season of the game so far. Like, I always find a place and then I land there, you know, 90% of the time, but I haven't found that yet. And I haven't played this chapter all that much. I probably have about 15-ish hours on it, but I haven't really found anywhere to land. Like, nowhere really stands out to me yet. Again, this is sort of nitpicky, but it is one thing that I don't love that much about it, because usually by now I would have found somewhere that I really like landing, and I just haven't done that yet. But that does not mean that the map is bad at all. This is just a bit of a nitpicky thing, probably something that is maybe just me, but it is something that can affect my enjoyment of the game. So that's the third thing, because it's really not that big of a deal. So to kind of follow up on my first negative, my first positive or first like of this chapter so far is the actual aesthetic of the map. Yeah, I haven't found anywhere that I really like to land yet, and there isn't really massive areas that really stand out to me, but that's because it all blends together so well. I really like how the map looks. I think that when it comes to just like the greeny sort of areas, it looks very samey to Chapter 5. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but then the areas that are more colourful with like the pink trees and all the different flowers and stuff, that looks really, really nice. And I like the structures, like they do look really nice. I like the theme of this chapter, or I guess I should say season, because it'll likely change in season 2, but I like the theme a lot so far. It is very, very cool. It feels very different to what they've done before, and it just feels very unique, so I do like it quite a lot. As I said, like the colors and everything works really well, all the structures and stuff. This is a weird thing to mention, but in a lot of the structures you'll find like there's just random little like pools just around and that you can just swim in. I don't really know why I like that so much, but I do. It's just very simplistic, but I do like it quite a lot. And the map overall just feels very different to previous seasons and chapters, which is something you'll hear a bit in this video, because I like when they try something new while also keeping it somewhat similar, and this chapter so far seemed to do that pretty well. So that is my first positive so far. I just really like the overall aesthetic, and while I don't have like a certain POI I really, really like that I'm, you know, committed to landing at all the time, I think that the map blends together very well and looks really nice. So for my second negative about the chapter so far, the battle pass. This is probably the most subjective one on this list. I know a lot of people won't agree with me, but just hear me out. So I think that the battle pass is not awful. It's not even the worst one in recent times, or definitely not the worst in Fortnite history by any means, definitely not. But I think it is kind of boring, especially for like the theme. I think that there are some cool skins, like some of them do look really, really cool, but then like the other half are just sort of whatever. It just seems like variations of what we've had before. I feel like with this whole samurai theme they went with, they could have given us something a little cooler. It's really not that big of a complaint. I haven't bought the battle pass when I normally do, just because I don't think it's that great. but it isn't awful or anything like that. Just hasn't really stood out to me, and there are some skins that are kind of cool, but again, nothing that really blows my mind. There's usually at least one skin where I really like them and it makes me want to get the pass just for that skin, or maybe a couple. There really isn't one like that in this pass. Like if I never get it, I'm not going to feel like I'm missing out all that much, which I feel like Fortnite definitely appeals to that sort of fear of missing out sort of thing, and this chapter really just didn't really do that. I just don't love the pass all that much. Again, I know it's pretty subjective. I know some of you watching this probably like it quite a bit and you probably have bought it, and that's perfectly fine. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you enjoy it. But just for my tastes, I just don't really like it that much. So another positive that I have for Chapter 6 so far is the ghosts. So I know this is sort of a silly one, but I love them. They are so cute, and they're one of my favorite things of this chapter. I love that you can just find them running around the map, and I like that they actually can help you out. Like one of them, like the windy sort of one, launches you in the air. The blue one gives you shield. I think that's the only ones. I haven't seen any other ones aside from the white and blue ones, but they're very, very cute, and I love just holding them in my arms or running around the map with them. But it's just a very sweet little thing. I don't really know why they added them in the game, but I like them, and they fit with the world quite a bit as well, strangely enough. And I also like the little noises that they make. I really hope that they don't get rid of them in Season 2, because they're definitely a highlight for me. And I know you watching this, a lot of you love them as well. Like they are just a very sweet, simple little addition. But I really hope that they stick around at least till the end of Chapter 6, because they're a nice little addition and they actually serve a purpose. They're not just there to be like a cute little thing that you can pick up. They actually do help you out, you know, giving you shield and stuff. So I hope that they stick around. This is a bit of a sillier one, but it still is one of my favorite things about Chapter 6 so far. So the final thing I dislike, and this is my biggest dislike, but I don't really have that much to say about it. It's just that the guns feel a little unbalanced at times, and I am well aware that I'm bad at Fortnite, so, you know, feel free to hit me with the skill issue comments, but I just don't think that the game is 100% balanced. I mean, I don't really think Fortnite ever will be, but I think that the guns are fun. I have no issue with them, but I feel like some of them maybe need to be a little reworked, just a little, just to make them feel a little bit more fair. And I'm saying that from the point of view of like, not even just the guns, but like the swords especially. They are incredibly annoying. They feel a little bit overpowered. You can still beat someone who's using one, but it is very annoying because if they run up on you, you're kind of screwed. So I think that it would be cool for them to sort of have a look at some of the weapons, you know, guns, swords, whatever, and maybe just take a look at them, maybe rework them if that's necessary. Some of you might, you know, think it's perfectly fine, and it could be. Again, I'm not very good, so maybe I'm just really bad. I don't know, but that's personally my biggest issue at the moment. It's just maybe the game's a tad bit unbalanced, but they can definitely fix that. And one more positive that I have is just the general gameplay changes. I really like the new movement changes, like the jump animation when you're jumping off like the edge of a building. I really like the roll and like how you can run up walls sort of. I really like that. I honestly don't really have too much to say. I just really like the new movement options. I know it's pretty similar, you know, to Chapter 5, but I did add in some new things, and I just like that they didn't change it up all that much, because that was something I was a little worried that they would do, but it seems like they've kept it basically the same. They've just added in a couple new things, so that's a bit of a weird thing to put at number 1, I know, but I just appreciate the gameplay changes being pretty simple. And that's about it for the video, everyone. So let me know 3 things that you really like about Chapter 6 so far, 3 things you don't like, and I should have another video out before Christmas, as I said in the last one, but just in case, Merry Christmas. I all hope that you have a great day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Have a great day, everyone.